Hello, Professor. My name is Amey Sonar, and I'm an in-class student. I have chosen CK Prahalad Greenboard for this presentation. Allow me to begin by giving you an overview about my presentation. The first thing that we'll discuss is the emerging markets. We'll try to understand what emerging markets are and what are its significance. The second topic is the impact of diversity. We'll try to understand what are the advantages and disadvantages of diversity and how one company can use the diversity for its benefit. The third thing that we'll discuss is the role of internet. We'll try to understand how internet can help the companies to connect with their customer in a better way and can help the company to function more efficiently. Throughout the presentation, I have tried to implement my learnings which I've learned through this course. I believe that the tools, concepts, and methodologies that we are using from ages to initiate, plan, execute, control, and close any project, irrespective whether it is a small scale, a medium scale, or a large scale project, may or may not hold good in the coming future, because the current market will demand good quality products at less price and in quick time. So I believe that these methodologies, tools, and concepts have to be upgraded to match the standards of the requirement. Let's move on to discuss the emerging markets. Now, what exactly emerging markets are? An emerging market is a country that has some characteristics of a developed market, but it cannot be termed as developed. A lot of countries are trying their best to match the standards of the developed countries like United States and some countries in Europe. Countries like India, China, Brazil, South Africa, and South Korea are among the top emerging markets. Then what is something different that these markets are doing than the other markets so that they can be termed as emerging markets and different companies are more attracted toward this specific market? The main reason is the spending capacity of this market. The spending capacity of these markets have increased over the decade, and people in this market are willing to spend on new stuff and new high technology products. And now I'll show you two graphs which shows how the spending capacity of India and China has grown over the years. The first graph shows the spending capacity of India. We can see from the graph that it has been increasing continuously. So the graph only shows from Jan 2016 to January 2019, and it forecast the upcoming trend as well. So it's increasing again. Now we'll see the graph of China. Now again we can see the China graph is almost linear, and it has the spending capacity of Chinese people have been increasing right from over the decade. Now, what is the significance of these emerging markets for the companies? The first thing is growing demands. This is the main reason why different companies are interested in these markets, and they should be interested in such kind of emerging markets. The demand is continuously growing in this market. The main reason is the process of granting credit to the people in these countries have increased tremendously. Due to the credit that due to the process of granting credit is being easy now for these countries, there has been an increase in the disposable income for the people in this country. By disposable income, we mean that the income that is left with the people to spend after the taxes are reduces from their income. So it has increased over the decade, and that's why people are ready to spend on high stuff products and they are trying to match the level of the standard of living of people in developed countries like United States. The second reason of why companies should look into these emerging markets is the opportunities. As these countries are not developed and they are on the verge of being developed, people there are very enthusiastic about the high quality product and technical products that are present in developed countries. Products like electric car, electronic equipments, and other projects which are available in the developed countries but are not available in those countries. So their companies have an opportunity to launch those high-tech products in these markets and earn profit. The third thing is that the policy support that the government of these countries are providing to the investors. Now, when a company invests in some country, it is also profit for the country because they will increase their employment rate and they can have a they can match the level of the developed countries. So to do this, the government of such emerging markets are providing attractive policies for the investors. We know that Tesla has invested in China for the manufacturing plant, and they are considering India as a potential market again. So that is a good example of how the policies of this government can help the investor to invest in this country and build a manufacturing plant, which will help the company and help the country to improve the employment rate. The third thing is the increasing investment. Now, because of all these factors like growing demand, opportunities, and the policy support that the government are providing, there has been a lot of investment that is been done in this emerging market. So, if any company who hasn't already started thinking about this emerging market should go ahead and see whether their product is can do well in these markets and can try to penetrate in those markets to increase their overall profitability and to increase their business. Now let's move on to the second topic, which is the impact of diversity. Now, what does a diversity mean? Diversity in a workplace means that a company's workforce include people of varying gender, age, religion, race, ethnicity, cultural background, sexual orientation, regional languages, education, abilities, etc. Now, as we are talking about expansion of the businesses, people will go into different countries to expand their business. They would like to have people in their organization who can understand the political situation, the cultural situation, and the demand of that market. So for that, it is highly possible that companies will recruit the locals, the people from that particular country. Now that means there will be a change in the organization. Change brings conflicts and risk. A company should be ready to face the challenges of having such kind of diversity. The company should build an environment such that everyone will be given a chance to tell what their idea is, to pitch their idea, and their ideas will be considered. Diversity at a workplace can have a lot of challenges. Challenges like the acceptance and respect. There should be mutual acceptance and respect. So let's consider if the headquarter of a company is in US and they are having their manufacturing plant in China, then the cultural differences and the way of doing work can be different in these two countries. So both the countries should respect each other's culture and each other way of doing things, and should go hand in hand and think about the profitability of organization as a whole. The accommodation and beliefs. As I said, some people might believe in working in some particular way, and the other people might not believe in that way. So there has to be a coordination between the people among the organization to overcome this challenge. Ethnic and cultural difference. This can be related to how the people in that particular region have been doing the work traditionally. There has to be if we are trying to make a change in the organization, then it has to be done in a healthy way by keeping the ethnic and the cultural differences into consideration and having mutual respect about each other's beliefs. Gender equality and generation gap. Now these two problems can be these two challenges can be addressed by having culture in the company itself, so everyone will be given equal right to have to pitch their ideas on the table, and everyone will be considered equally. Language and communication. Though English is a language that is spoken all around the world, but not everyone may be equally fluent in that language. So everyone has to understand and that English may not be their first language, and they should try to accommodate, try to understand what they say, and with the organization can make training sessions for the people who are not who cannot speak particularly English, and can train their employees in such a way that everyone can at least speak one common language. It will be easier for the communication. Now, it doesn't only mean that diversity brings challenges. It brings a lot of positive things with it. As the diversity increases, the creativity also increases, because we have people from different perspective, they're from different background, and they bring a new vibe to the entire organization. This will help us to increase our innovation quotient, that can help us in making solving our problems pretty quickly, and will also help us in making decision, which will eventually help the organization to increase its profit. There will be a greater employment engagement among the in the organization, because there can be it will bring a fresh vibe to the entire organization, and the entire workplace will be a better place to work. Now let's move on to discuss about the role of internet. Now we can easily say that internet is the best invention of the century. If we talk about the company's perspective, internet has played a pivotal role in connecting companies to its customers. Now with companies are planning to expand their market, now it is very important for them to use the internet to the fullest. For an example, making an online survey, is not a new thing for today's market. Many companies do an online survey before they start designing their product, and based on the feedback of that survey and the results of those surveys, they can make changes in their product and can incorporate it, and can assure that they are delivering the product with all the requirements that the customer demand. The companies have a plan of reaching to the customer, taking their feedback. With the support of the customer, they innovate things, they maintain the quality, and deliver excellent results. Now let's talk about how internet can help the company to increase its profitability. I have figured out two aspects of that company can use the internet for. The first is the enterprise resource planning. The ERP software can be implemented with the help of internet today, which will help to increase the visibility throughout the organization. It will enable us to transfer real-time data. It will avoid any redundant and monotonous work and any duplication work. So it will basically help each and every department of the organization and to come at a single point and store the data at that center point, and it will be distributed among the entire organization. So everyone will have the same input, and can maintain the correct path to improve the profitability of the entire organization. The second thing is the customer relationship management. Internet can be used to enhance the customer relationship management, which will help us to serve the customer well, to develop new customers. It will help to improve our reach towards our customer. It will help us for the sales and revenue, to enhance our sales and revenue, and it will help the customer to market their product, or to advertise their product to their customer. So both of the CRM and the ERP system will help us to improve the overall efficiency and the profitability of the entire organization. In the conclusion, I would like to say that to sustain in this competitive world, it is important for every company to look out for new opportunities. As we discussed, that the emerging markets are the new opportunities, and they have to think out of the box, because it may be possible that the things that are applicable in the developed countries may not be applicable in the emerging markets. So the companies have to think out of the box, and as I mentioned earlier, in that new tools and methodology have to be developed to deliver results on time and within budget in this competitive market. Thank you very much.